All right. Hello, everybody. So Kevin is late. His laptop is working on booting up. So you get to deal with me for a little bit. Tonight, we're just trying to distract ourselves from whatever is going on with the election. We're talking Captain America. Thanks, anyone who joins. And we will get this going. All right. I'm going to start the audio only recording. All right. And we are live and recording. Just waiting on Kevin to join us. We got one person watching right now. Hello, whoever you are. You can leave a comment. We can answer questions. We love to talk to people. Where has my little Kevin gone? All right. What's up, guys? Hello, Leslie. B. Perry. How are y'all doing tonight? Kevin is going to join us here soon. He's trying to boot up his laptop. I think his laptop's probably like 15 years old, maybe more. Yeah, I know how that feels. What's it been here lately? I think we've had temperatures in the 40s here in Texas, but the last couple of days in the afternoons it gets back up to like 70s, 80s. Hi, how are y'all doing? Good Lord, Kevin. I'll text him hatefully, very hatefully. Let's see, hurry up, you schmuck. Because I feel schmuck is not used enough. Yeah. Oh. It's hilarious. I run all the technical stuff, and Kevin can't even show up on time. Before this, Kevin told me he was going to be able to make it on time. I'll call him a liar. Oh, Lord. Let's see. So the topic tonight, guys, is Captain America. If you have any questions for us, go ahead and feel free to ask us anytime. Give us something to talk about. We're here tonight to ignore the election because Kevin's afraid of what's going to happen. And I'm going to be cheating. I'm going to be checking on the election as we go. Hey.
Hey!
5 minutes.
Yep. Welcome to Kev's cavalcade of technical difficulties, folks.
Hey, Cat. Welcome.
Yeah, because I mean,
got...
okay, dude, but like, would it not be one of our live streams if it wasn't just addled with my own incompetence?
Well, I mean, Cat says we're going to be fucked. So.
Oh well, I mean, of course, and it's not just because my internet sucks balls, and I'm likely to be like that, like at least 15 times or more tonight. But yeah, now that I am here, the talent has arrived. The show may begin. Sorry.
You're
What Cat alluded to.
That one?
Sorry. Okay, disclaimer. I am thoroughly baked at the moment. Because it's election night and we are currently in the sewage-filled love tunnel of bullshit mountain. So how else am I supposed to cope? Right?
That's a good way of putting it, Kevin.
There's your disclaimer.
Jesus.
About 75% of the things that I'm going to say tonight are going to make any sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah, it's election night. And, you know, we wanted to do an election night special, but we're not going to talk about election night. Because it's, right?
What?
Yeah, I mean, like, we're not getting any results tonight. There's not going to be any finality here. We're all just in limbo. Yeah. So I can see from your face you're like thoroughly disinterested, and I'm envious of you.
I mean, I vote independent, bro. I already know I'm not going to win.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I am, you know, I do envy your ability to just be like, nope. Because I don't have that. I'm so.
And it starts early. We are starting this crap early. Awesome. Kevin is freezing because his internet, apparently where he lives, he gets a lot of FR interference. And he's working on getting Google Fiber, which will be there in 7 days.
Yep.
7 days.
7 more sleeps till fiber.
And then maybe we won't have this shit show to deal with.
No, we shouldn't, because I'm getting 2 routers.
Oh.
They're supplying me with 2 routers. Suck it, Spectrum. You're getting outclassed over here.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only reason I have Spectrum is because my apartment complex has a contract through them. So we have to have Spectrum. But even then, I get damn good internet for only $50 a month, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're right. There's RF interference in the area, according to our technician. And, you know, I got 1 router for a 2-story house. Do the math. So
bad, Kevin. Bad.
Yeah. I know. So Google Fiber's coming in a week. They've already laid the fiber. They just got to hook it up, and we're good. We're going. We're golden, man. Yeah. No more of like weird, strokey, frozen Kev. And I might be able to actually get I might actually be able to get a cogent thought out before my internet just is like, eh.
Well, maybe your internet will get a cogent thought out before you do.
More than likely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a couple kicks away from Skynet.
No. What was it? They have something that's coming out soon that's basically like a step down from Skynet. It's just not military.
Yet.
They'll
find a way.
I know they will. You're convinced, I know.
Regardless of who wins tonight, folks, we're getting Terminators. Like, one might speed up the... either way, we're getting Terminators. So...
Fake news.
No. God. Nope. Nope. I don't need to go down that road. I'm going to go ahead and take it. I'm going to take it like all other negative emotions I experience, and I'm just going to.
Yes, you're gonna freeze. That's what you're gonna fucking do. you're gonna take it. And you're gonna.
It just keeps happening, man. Yeah. Anyway.
Cat's saying military internet sucks ass too. Don't be fooled.
No. Hey, maybe you should get Google Fiber. Yeah. Okay. So we have to do a little bit of catch up, right? Because somebody flaked on us. Buddy. Halloween night.
Oh,
Somebody?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I had to stay home and keep an eye on my pregnant wife. Sue me.
Excuses are like assholes.
We got mine's
Hey,
extra
Chuck.
squeaky.
That's literally what you did on Halloween. Did you at least watch a scary movie? Fuck.
No, honestly. I got on my computer and I think I just worked on some stuff.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
I was the Wolverine.
Yeah, you even colored your hair gray.
Dude, our friend Leslie in the chat there, man, she fucking nailed that makeup, man. Nailed it. I looked old and bloody and grumpy. It was great.
Leslie, you should have put like a tree branch through his chest. Really dialed it home.
Man, okay, this is how pathetically not a man of half measures I am.
Oh, God.
I didn't just buy like plastic Wolverine claws. No, sir. I bought stainless steel Wolverine claws. They have now taken the rightful position as my home defense weapon. Like pistols are cool and all, but like a naked man lunging at you from the stairs with Wolverine claws.
Especially you as a naked man.
Wrong house, pal. Wrong house. That's my plan. So yeah, it was actually kind of cool, man. Like there was at one point, like this family drove past and they stopped their car in front of our house, and they wanted to get a picture of me.
That's cool.
I'm like, oh, cool, all right, cool, man, no worries. But then like he flipped the interior light on, and there was a kid in the back seat, presumably his, I hope, dressed as Wolverine. And the kid wanted to
awesome.
The kid wanted to get a closer look at me as Wolverine. That was kind of cool.
Yeah,
that was kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Aside from that, I just hung out with my dad and talked about 401ks. Yeah, pretty rad night, man. We party.
I missed the chance to meet your parents one more time. I think I've only met them the one time at your 30th party.
Yeah.
And then it was just a handshake and like me sitting in the corner awkwardly while your family all talked.
Yeah. It's pretty much been the same thing.
Yeah.
But dude, they're always around.
Yeah.
You'll run into them.
No, I like my wife for some reason. She just like on Halloween night, she was more tired than she's ever been before. Like she got home from work, and normally she takes like maybe a 1 or 2 hour nap and then gets up. I cook her dinner. She goes to bed. Like she didn't even do that. She got home from work, went straight to bed, and she slept till the next morning.
Hey, that can happen sometimes when you're growing a human.
I know. That's what I'm telling you. I've told you I was keeping an eye on my pregnant wife. She's we're, what is it? 2 months away?
Yeah.
2
months until we start ghosting everyone for a while.
Well, no, hell no. I'm going to be one of those I'm going to take my baby with me.
Dude, if you do a podcast with like a front-loaded kid, like a little,
I'm gonna
like
wear
a quado.
You're
gonna have a quado.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the baby right in front of me.
Hell yeah.
Leslie said the budget wouldn't allow chest impalement. Damn it.
What can I say, man? We got to be economical about our cosplay.
I thought it. All right.
Nothing for that?
Never mind.
Nothing from that?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm choosing not to say anything.
So I had an idea for next Halloween, though.
Okay.
So, because this year the theme would have been Beetlejuice, right?
Okay.
But because like we didn't go out and do the normal things we normally do,
fucking
2020. We didn't do that. That's why I went with the Wolverine costume. But if we do it next year, I had an idea because I'm gonna have a whole year to train, right?
Oh, God.
I shouldn't be Beetlejuice. I should be Beetlejuiced. Like do the tuxedo, but like rip the sleeves off and shit. Yeah. I know it's awful. It's awful, right? That's why it's gonna work.
Oh, God.
It's terrible. It's fucking awful, but it'll work.
I mean, okay, so if you're going to be Beetlejuice but ripped, does that mean I can be the giant earthworm but fat?
Sure. You know what? Because that'd be amazing. We could literally go to the Bonham downtown and you could just chase me around. That'd be fucking hilarious. That'd be perfect. Okay, now you're committed. Now you're in.
No, now I'm committed.
Yep, it's happening.
Okay.
Done. But yeah. So it begins with the juice
it begins with the juice time. Yeah.
By the way,
I'm gonna put that one up there.
By the way, thank you everybody in the chat for hanging out with us tonight. I know it's a hard sell to say, hey man, maybe you should stop watching the news for a few minutes and hang out with us, I guess. But we appreciate everyone hanging out with us tonight.
I mean, if it's really down pat, I mean, I've got updates.
Oh, do we do? Okay, hit me.
I mean, do you want to get like percentages, or do you want just electoral votes?
Let's just go with electoral votes.
Electoral votes, it's 85-55 in favor of Joe.
Okay. All right. That's what it is right now.
So far, Illinois, Joe's won more states. Florida's leading Republican. Texas are leading Democrat.
That's interesting. Florida, not so much. Florida doesn't particularly strike me as...
Well, earlier it was leading Democrat.
Yeah. It's going to... That doesn't necessarily surprise me. Florida's a swing state. But Texas is leaning Democrat?
So far.
And it's set... Well, okay, so folks, it's 7:18 p.m. right now. Polls have been closed for 18 minutes.
Well, but people are still voting. As long as you are in line before 7 o'clock, you can still vote.
Okay, that could get interesting. Because if Texas hits blue, that's 38 electoral votes. With that in California, that might be the ball game, folks.
Well, apparently the one that's deciding factor is Pennsylvania right now.
In most scenarios, yeah. In most scenarios, Pennsylvania would be the deciding factor. But if Texas goes, oh fuck yeah, fuck this bullshit, fuck it, kitty. Thank you, Brad, for the reset. I do not need to besmirch the good name of this podcast with electoral politics right now. Fuck that. God damn. Okay. So, why are we here tonight, Brad?
We're talking about America's ass.
Okay. Can I submit one thing?
Sure.
We all know that that's America's ass. But I think we need to acknowledge that's also America's dick. I mean,
you're just talking about didn't his like dick pics get leaked out or some shit?
Yep. Oh, and everyone looked at that schlong and was like, you know what? He gets a pass. No shame in that man's game. That's America's dick. That's right. You heard it here first, folks.
from a man who's baked off his ass.
Yep.
Just saying. Just thought
I warned you guys.
Tip it in there.
I warned you up front. This is what you were getting into.
Jesus.
So yeah, we're here.
And we got another one. All right. Oh, that's like the third time now, isn't it? I'm gonna keep track of these. We're counting. Eventually he'll come back, people. Wait, he stuttered and he's back.
Yeah. So we're here.
Numero trace, good sir.
Last time, man. This will be the last live stream that this happens. That's it. This is the end of that chapter, as Max
See,
Power
even
would
Cat's
say.
getting tired of your shit because even she's like, "Oh my god."
Everybody does.
Or that
Everybody
might be the America's Dick part. Not sure.
All right. Well, Cat, clarify. In the meantime, we are here to talk about Captain America. He's not divisive. Yes. He's awesome, and he's rocking them tights in that ass. That's right. But more importantly, I wanted to talk about the evolution of Captain America as a character in the MCU. Right? He's had any number of iterations in the comic, but I think the MCU version is it's interesting to me. What do you think, Brad?
Well, yes, the "Oh my god" was about America's dick. But no, I mean, you definitely I liked, if you watch Captain America the First Avenger and then you watch Endgame, two very different Captain Americas. Mm-hmm. Very different Captain Americas.
Yeah.
Stark contrast.
Oh yeah, I mean, coincidentally, I think the First Avenger is probably in my top 5 MCU films. Bar none. It's just so well done. Yes, Leslie, I will miss Caesar Kev too. But if you want to like throw a rave downstairs, I'm sure you could like put me in an epileptic seizure.
If those Batman spotlights don't do it anyway.
Just keep staring at him, Brad. Just keep staring at him. You're getting very sleepy.
Very sleepy.
Very sleepy.
You're getting very rapey.
Yes, mission accomplished. So Cap. Okay, so like, let's start with the First Avenger, right? Let's start there.
Okay.
What I like most about this character is how uncomplicated it is.
Yeah.
Right at the start, right? Like the first scene you see Steve Rogers in the First Avenger, that scene alone, it completely codifies who he is right there.
Yeah.
And that is, I don't know. Something about it is just really refreshing. And I think maybe because in my head, it's uncomplicated and therefore that's a good thing. It's nothing I have to parse through like a moral or ethical filter.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, there's no real complicated backstory. He's just a kid who wanted to help save the world, I guess would be the best.
Yeah. I mean, I love the line in there where he talks about like, he doesn't like bullies no matter where they're from, especially in relation to the previous question, which was, so you want to kill some Nazis? And he's like, I don't want to kill anyone, that's probably one of my favorite little moments in the movie right there.
Yeah. Leslie does have a question for us. What would a present day Captain America be like? I imagine he's like the one from the comic book run, where he says "Hail Hydra."
Yeah, maybe. Ooh. I mean, not that was a bad moment in the comics. It was clever as fuck, and I enjoyed it. But just the idea of
it was just the Captain America flipping.
Yeah, but like the idea of a man of such conviction as Captain America is, like that is a man that is the proverbial immovable object in terms of his moral and ethical compass.
Yeah.
To have that kind of conviction and be a Hydra agent, terrifying. That's like Waffen SS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, where are we going with that?
What would a present day Captain America be like?
Look at the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
The entire movie, the entire subtext of the Winter Soldier is you take a man with clearly defined ethics and morals and a very clearly defined character and drop him into the most gray environment possible with all the compromises that, like you would say, a modern intelligent state has to operate with. Basically, if you were to drop Steve Rogers in the NSA today, that's the Winter Soldier, right? Like all of the gray lines, all of the blurred aspects of right and wrong. Like that's how a present day Captain America would act, and he would stick to his guns despite all of that, just like he did in the Winter Soldier. So yeah,
no, that's fair.
I mean, the evolution of the character is so interesting because you establish what he's all about in the first Avenger, and it's uncomplicated and it's pure, and then you chuck it in the meat grinder of what
I was about to say what was the next one he was in was
the Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier, and then that became the gray area.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what made it. That's I think what made Winter Soldier so brilliant is because we would all hope that in a trial such as that, what Cap went through in the Winter Soldier, that we would stick to our guns like that we wouldn't make the same compromises. Maybe that's the entire appeal of that character for me. Maybe that's the entire thing, is that I wish I could be like a quarter as convicted as that, to where regardless of the challenge, like, you don't bend. Maybe that's why it's so appealing to me. What about you?
I mean, I've always been the big guy. I'll never understand like what he would have to go through being the little guy and like having everyone look down on him. But like, even when he became the big guy, he never changed.
Yeah.
He became more capable at fighting bullies. That was about it. He actually stood by that when he gained the upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was a very uncomplicated character. Winter Soldier, I mean, you got to figure, up to Winter Soldier, you had a character who was very trusting with the government, very trusting with, those who were put in charge. He believed so heavily in the government. Eventually in the Winter Soldier, was that the one? That's the one where Hydra is ousted, right?
Yeah, it's when you find out that when Hydra had infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. and taken over.
Yeah, and I mean, you also got to figure, before this in Avengers, the first one, he finds out that they all that S.H.I.E.L.D. was making weapons from the Tesseract, exactly like Hydra was doing back in his time.
Mm-hmm.
And that immediately draws the parallel for him. And then he starts. That's honestly when he really starts questioning Fury. He starts questioning S.H.I.E.L.D.'s motives and all that.
Yeah.
Then he really didn't stop doing that, and then you have Winter Soldier that comes along, and at that point it's ousted entirely that Hydra is S.H.I.E.L.D. essentially, and all these people who he trusted so faithfully, that suddenly they're the enemy, and he has to fight something that he essentially stood for.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I feel like that's what makes the elevator scene so powerful. He's these agents that he's worked with for so long, that he's fought alongside and all that. And suddenly, all of them just turn on him in an elevator, they were capturing him. They had tasers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and he fucking handed their shit to them. He dog walked him in that elevator. God.
It was awesome. I loved it.
Dude, the fight choreography.
Oh God. All right.
Captain America, like,
Trace,
just awesome.
Quattro. A little bit of Quattro. You froze up on us.
Oh God, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. More specifically, how would he react to a pandemic and the crazy political climate, including police brutality, BLM? Okay. All right. The crazy political climate? I imagine Cap would stay out of something like that. I think his focus is more on
He's always
service.
really stayed out of politics.
Yeah. I mean, his focus is always more on service, being of service. I think he'd kind of stay above the political fray.
And come on, Kevin.
Just sit.
Your internet is like the little engine that couldn't.
Yeah. My internet is a dick. So yeah, like I was trying to say, it'd be very hard for me to imagine that a man that wears a mask wouldn't encourage people to wear a fucking mask. I'm just gonna throw that one out there.
He would just kind of make an addition to cover up his mouth and nose.
Yeah. Police brutality. I can't imagine that Cap would be in favor of a state using excessive force. Maybe that's me imprinting my own bullshit onto Cap. Maybe, I don't know. I imagine he'd stand with BLM. I don't know. My Cap would. I guess. Yeah. My Cap would. I don't know, man. Like, I think maybe that's what made the Winter Soldier work so well is probably the one thing that I'm glad Cap is kind of above. It's the compromises. It's the Project Insight, right? The idea that, yeah, you're protecting people, but with, through the fear of use of force, right? The whole line is that's not freedom, that's fear. I don't know. Trying to imagine Captain America actually interacting with our reality, exhausting. That's just exhausting. Yeah. It's funny though. I try to think of the evolution of the character through the MCU, and I don't see many of the Avengers films as being, maybe I'm just thinking only of the Avengers film. I don't think with the Avengers they dug too deep into Cap. It was much more about the whiz bang, right? Yeah. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say so. But I mean, well, okay. What was which one had the Sokovia Accords? That was
Civil War.
Yeah, in Civil War,
which is basically another Avengers film.
Yeah, I mean, but I know. I would say honestly that in Civil War was when it all came to a head, because I'd imagine that the old Captain America in the beginning of everything would have signed on the Sokovia Accords.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'd agree with that.
And then, between everything that's happened between, the first Avenger and Civil War, he's definitely changed. He's not near. He absolutely questions orders about things. He's not nearly. He recognizes almost not that the Avengers as an entity needed to be a way to check others. They didn't need to. They didn't need to be subject to a power of government that could corrupt them the way it had already been corrupted.
Right. I think his line. Go ahead.
I was going to say, because honestly, if the Avengers were to have given in to the corruption of the government, what would have happened? I mean, what could have happened then? I mean, it would have caused far more damage than anything else. Yeah.
I think Cap's line from Civil War that, it's this is a body run by people, and people have agendas, and agendas change. That pretty much encapsulates how Cap would actually interact. It makes perfect sense when you think about it. Like, this is a guy that literally went through a scenario with the Winter Soldier where he had to deal with the consequences of compromise, and then by Civil War he's being asked to compromise. I mean, come on. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for him to act in any other way.
Yeah.
But it's definitely enigmatic of his willingness to buck authority at that point. By the time we get to Cap in Civil War, he is completely committed to his code, not some other grander apparatus. It's his code. And I don't know. I think that's what one of the things that makes his arc so fascinating is because you take a guy that's like, in principle, he's a Boy Scout, right? And then how do you make that interesting?
Yeah.
And I don't think conceptually I can come up with a better way of doing it than, having his code remain constant, but it's being tested from every possible angle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's what I think. That's what makes Civil War so interesting narratively, is because it feels like, in terms of him being able to fit his code into some kind of construct, the dam breaks, and it's just about his code, right? It's whatever construct he designs around that. Which I think makes it satisfying when you get to Infinity War and you see how he's been operating. Yeah, it's definitely, as what did Falcon say? The hotels weren't exactly 5-star.
Yeah.
But he's been doing it his way. And, I'm sorry, but one of the ballsiest fucking lines in the MCU is the whole, we're here to fight. And if you want to stand in our way, we'll fight you too. Like, that's just, When
did he say that?
Infinity War, when he was talking to the secretary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when they first brought Vision.
Yeah, when they first brought, and eventually.
To the. Keeping you guys guessing. Keeping you guys guessing, man. You never know.
So, yeah, when they first bring Vision, and he says it to the secretary.
Yeah.
So Leslie asked, how would Cap be of service?
He'd probably be karate chopping and kicking the air to knock out the coronavirus. Just a guess. Just a guess. Maybe just throwing the shield around.
And B. Perry, does Cap after the timeline in the past he returns to, could this be an issue for that timeline?
So there is a storyline in Marvel Comics where Cap does grow old, but his youth is restored by the power of the Tesseract, or they call it something else in the comics, the Cosmic Cube, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And he becomes young again, and that's where we get the new Steve Rogers run of Captain America. So it's conceptually possible. I think they established that changing the past doesn't necessarily change the future. They explained that away in Endgame.
Yeah, it creates it's the fragments in time where both timelines continue, and then they continue on until you go back and correct it.
Right. And I don't, if Steve Rogers ever comes back, that's probably entirely up to America's dick over there, whether or not he wants to come back and do something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm super stoked for Anthony Mackie's Captain America.
Yeah. We got because he keeps the shield in those Falcon gear as well.
Yeah. So I mean, we're getting Sam Wilson's Captain America, and going back to Leslie's earlier question, do you think that the Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to have the first Black Captain America, and they're not going to talk about it? Really? So, I mean,
well, and when is what is it? Winter Soldier and the Falcon supposed to come out? Isn't that like a TV show or?
Yeah, it's going to be a Disney Plus series. It was supposed to drop, I think, fall this year.
Oh.
But it's been delayed until next year, I think, because they had to stop production due to Rona. Which sucks because I've been really looking forward to that, precisely because I really want to see Anthony Mackie's take on Sam Wilson's Captain America. I really want to see that. I think Anthony Mackie is too smart a guy not to play this thing pitch perfect. Sebastian Stan's always cool. So I like, and we dug deep into Winter Soldier in Civil War, and then we didn't, right? Infinity War and of course Endgame didn't give us a whole lot going on with Bucky. So, I think this show does represent a cool chance to get deeper into Bucky's character.
Yeah.
Because going back to Captain America's arc, Endgame really is the payoff, right? For that specific character, so much of that film deals with him, right?
Yeah.
And does so in a really satisfying way. Everything from Cap at the beginning of the movie, kind of like trying to trying to live with the failure, trying to turn a frown upside down, essentially, right? And then acknowledging that it's not friggin' working, right? That kind of low with Captain America is really interesting because, you know, it makes the climb back up that he does in that film all the more satisfying. And of course, Mjolnir, like lifting Mjolnir. Come on. Like there wasn't a
lift the hammer.
Dude, there was not a dry pair of pants in the house, man. They were all soggy. All of them.
I remember that was one of the moments where the whole theater that we were sitting in made noise.
Yeah. I mean, dude, come on, kid. Just put yourself back in that moment. You see, just seeing the hammer come off the ground and you know who lifted that thing. You know. And when you see it, oh my goodness. My goodness. And again, dude, like with that character, if you want to get the audience on his side, just give us a few frames of him getting his ass whooped and he just keeps getting back up. Right? Like it's like Rocky.
One of his, about to say, in Endgame, when it's his last movie, you know, you get the same line from the first movie that he even started in. It's just, I can do this all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, and dude, it's like Rocky. It's like watching the Rocky films, right? Every time Rocky gets knocked down and he gets his ass back up, you as the audience member, you're on that you're on his side. You're in the corner. Yeah. You know, Cap is very similar, you know, especially in Endgame. Like he's getting his ass handed to him by Thanos, but he still keeps fighting.
He loses half his shield.
Yeah, but he just keeps fighting. You know, it's not to put too much of a macho spin on it, but it's kind of like, well, fuck your excuses, right? You know, what was it? I think I listened to an episode of Force of Light Entertainment's podcast with Dave and Liv from Pizza and Parsecs, and they were talking about Batman, and they were brought up how Batman can be an inspiration, right? And you know, I'll back that. Yeah, they're fictional characters and blah blah blah, but there's aspects of them that you can be like, man, I wish I was like that. I want to be like that.
I want to be a millionaire.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Is there a ripcord I can pull to make that happen? But like, you know, you look at that and you're like, you know, fuck your excuses, right? You know, and it sounds, again, I don't want to fucking turn this into too much of a thing, but like, you know, if I'm in the gym and I'm really fucking tired and something's hurting me, well, fuck it, get back up, keep going. You're not done yet. You know, that kind of like tenacity is something that I think people can aspire to. Yeah. I mean, I certainly would try to, right?
Oh, yeah. So one of your earlier points, you were saying that you don't imagine that Anthony Mackie would do anything wrong with the role of Captain America. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. The whole reason that, you know, he plays Falcon. He essentially is Falcon at this point. Mm-hmm. Steve Rogers gave Falcon the shield. He doesn't have to change who he is.
Yeah.
Captain America already deemed him, you are ready. You can be what I need you to be, what people need you to be.
Right.
But yeah, so
here's what I think is going to be really interesting about that show. Here's what I think is going to be really interesting, because I think from a narrative perspective, it makes sense to have Sam Wilson spend some time feeling like he's stuck in the shadow of Steve Rogers. You know what I mean? That's a big mantle.
He's going to. I mean, you have the Peter Parker felt the same way after Tony died in Far From Home. I mean, that's
right. And then you could spend some significant time showing how Sam Wilson gets out of that. You know, at what point does he own the mantle of Captain America? That's going to be an interesting aspect of that show, because I'm very curious to see, like, what point does he own that, and then that's your Cap. You know, it's just.
I feel like, honestly, I feel like it would come down to something where he's given an order, and it's not necessarily what he agrees with. Mm-hmm. And, you know, this is like first part of the movie, he's given the order and he does it, even though it leaves his bad taste in his mouth and he regrets it.
Right.
Then by the end of the movie, I feel like he's given a similar order that's going to be, he feels the same way about this order he did about the last order. Mm-hmm. And this time he's going to choose not to.
That could be interesting. Let me ask you this. Do you think they're going to give him the juice?
Well, I thought the serum was lost.
I know, but like,
you're thinking, are they going to give him the super serum?
Yeah, like, do you think at any point they're going to try to enhance Sam Wilson?
I honestly don't think so. Because, well, that could be part of him trying to overcome the mantle of Steve Rogers. Mm-hmm. Is, you have this perfect super soldier who you're just some regular guy.
Yeah.
And that could be something that he overcomes to make himself feel in place in that mantle.
Yeah,
not to mention, like, how does he meet Steve Rogers? They're jogging, they're taking their morning runs, and how many times is fucking Steve Rogers passes on your left? He's like,
oh yeah, he's getting lapped,
and he even like he's still hauling ass, and he hears him behind him. He turns, looks at, don't say it on your left.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
mean, it's got to be. I think you bring up a really good point because I've got to be. The last Captain America went toe to toe with a giant purple alien and didn't die. I am not. I am not an enhanced soldier. I'm a dude that knows how to use a Falcon suit pretty good. I don't know. That's a really interesting angle, and they could do one of two things. They could either just kind of lean into that and give him some Tren and D-ball mixture.
But I mean, I feel like that would ruin his moment as Captain America. He was given the shield by Captain America without a serum.
Yeah. I agree with you. I
mean, he doesn't need the serum because that is his place as Captain America. And like the point I was trying to make was, when they first met, he kept getting lapped and all he heard was on his left. Mm-hmm. And then in Endgame, when everyone's brought back and the army essentially walks out from the portals behind Captain America, before he even sees the army, he hears in his headset, a Cap on your left. And then you got Falcon that flies out and flies a circle around him.
Yeah, I definitely that moment was awesome. Yeah. And it's not, and it wasn't a flippant decision to have Sam Wilson be the first one out of that portal. And it wasn't just so they could do a callback to the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
That was done on purpose. They've known that Sam Wilson was going to take the shield. You know what I want to see? Just once, I want to see him like wind up, like he's got to be wearing the Falcon wings. He's still got to be flying around, right? But he just winds it up and then uses the momentum from the fucking Falcon wings and just launches that shield and like decapitates a dude. Yeah,
they're not going to do that.
I know, but it'd be cool. It'd be metal.
It would be, but that's too violent for the MCU.
It'd be metal as hell.
B. Perry asks, states it would be interesting if they Doc Ock the wings into his spine. Honestly, I can see them doing this with like a more advanced version of that flight suit, like maybe farther down the line, or I mean, because
they got Stark's nanotechnology.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, that would be like a later version model, something a bit more sophisticated, something that requires more nervous system control.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
that would be cool.
Like the thing that's striking about Endgame and Infinity War is just the massive technological leaps they take. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if, at one point we do get like Sam Wilson's get up is basically just nanotech,
Yeah.
It could be. I want to see the suit. I want to see the fucking suit, man.
What, the Captain America suit?
Sam Wilson's Cap suit, man. I want to see it.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen his Cap suit.
I think it's pretty friggin' gnar, the one in the comics, man. So to see how they kind of adapt that would be really interesting.
You said interesting. Steve Wilson's?
Sam Wilson's.
Sam Wilson's. I don't know why I thought Steve.
Brad's Googling.
Okay, so it's essentially the Captain America suit, but with wings.
Yeah,
that's it. That is cool. I like that, actually.
That's good. Dude, I'm telling you, it's gonna be interesting to see how they yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they interpret that. That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool. I don't know, man. Cap's a super fascinating character to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's the original hero.
Yeah, and
it's Brandon. B. Perry is Brandon.
Bruh. So I don't know, man. I think he's a super interesting character, and I love what Chris Evans did with it. I don't think there's anyone that could have hit Steve Rogers closer to home, personally. And I'm very intrigued to see what Anthony Mackie's going to do with Sam Wilson's Cap. I'm very, very intrigued about that.
Yeah.
So we're closing. Oh, hell yeah, man. I mean, whenever it drops, like, that's the thing. And
whenever anything drops, everything is coming out in 2021.
Yeah, presumably.
Yeah, hopefully.
But even then, like, and I mentioned this on the Scarif podcast when we talked about The Mandalorian, like, but just how amazing was it to get something new?
Well, okay. So what else come out in 2020?
The last movie you and I went to go see was Birds of Prey, bro.
Yeah.
That was in February.
Yep. And I think
it came out in January.
Movie to come out.
Yeah, it was like in January that one came out. Yeah. Well, no, I think New Mutants came out briefly. No one really went seeing it. I still haven't seen it.
I haven't.
Tenet came out, the Chris Nolan flick, but I'm not going to a movie theater as much as I love movie theaters. It ain't happening. But yeah, like, I mean, just to get something new, just to see something new, didn't it feel so goddamn good?
Awesome. It was awesome. I loved it. But again, we've been so stagnant 2020. Mm-hmm. Like, I think the Mandalorian season 2 was the first thing to drop since February.
It feels like it. It sure as hell feels like it for us.
That's 6 months.
Yeah.
It's half the year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
we've been spoiled.
Yeah. But I think next year, I know what Falcon and Winter Soldier's coming. I actually, you know what I think we're getting before the year's out? WandaVision.
Is that coming out for sure?
I think that's coming out in November.
We'll see.
I don't think they've dropped a hard date on it yet, but I think it's coming out in November. So I hope so. I need some new stuff in my life, man. I just need some new content.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's cool.
I would say have your wife put a finger up your butt, but that's probably not new.
Her fingers are nice and all, but mine are the right thickness.
Oh gosh.
You went there, dude.
I did. I was hoping it would go a different direction.
Nope. I just took the flag and ran with it. Because that's what everyone shows up to these for.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's the butt stuff. It's the butt stuff.
It's the butt stuff. That's why everyone shows up. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, Brad.
What?
I'm doing Kegels right now.
Got to keep that vagina tight.
Yeah. You got to be able to break something off if the need arises.
Oh God!
How did we get to that from Captain America?
I don't know. What?
Okay, dude.
That is America's ass.
It's America's dick.
America's ass does Kegels.
Yeah. I bet that dude can do 400-pound glute bridges. Bet you anything. That's a strong ass. That's a strong ass.
Oh God!
I salute that derriere. Okay, man. We're closing in on an hour. So how about just because it is election night? It's a very important evening, and we're all losing our fucking minds. What say we look at the Electoral College results just once more?
All right. You're not going to be happy.
Just hook it in my veins, buddy.
All right. You're not going to be happy.
I'm sure I won't be. But I haven't been happy since I was born.
I was about to say. So Joe is still sitting at 85 on the electoral votes. Donald has gone up to 72.
Okay.
I don't know what other state he won. Looks like a couple.
Okay.
Florida was, oh, wow. It's actually pretty damn close. Florida was 50.9% in favor of Trump. Georgia was 55.8% in favor of Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Iowa, their results aren't expected for another hour. Michigan was 57.4% in favor of Trump.
So far, there's still a
ton
of mail-in ballots.
I think those are those are the ones that have been accounted for so far. New Hampshire was 57 in favor of Joe. North Carolina 51.9 Joe. Ohio 54% Joe. Pennsylvania 76.5% in favor of Joe.
Wow.
Texas 50.5% in favor of Joe.
That's insane. That cannot be all. That's insane. That's probably going to change.
Well, maybe. I mean, most states, like a bunch of states, still aren't even done voting. So,
yeah. I mean,
see.
I don't know if Texas. I mean, dude, I'm sorry, but like, if Texas goes fucking blue, that's nuts. That's nuts. I mean, this state has been deep red as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's nuts. But anyway, we've taken enough of your precious time, folks. Given that time is the one thing you can't buy, we are thieving it from you. So, I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I hope the hour that you got to hang out with us was spent pulling your attention away from this fucking garbage fire we live in. Yeah. So hope it helped a little, I guess. Yeah, and we'll go to sleep tonight, and we'll wake up tomorrow, and we'll be in a whole new garbage fire. It'll still smell like garbage, but it'll be brand new. So anyway, guys, yeah, it's just new garbage that is just freshly been lit on fire.
Brandon has an idea, merch idea, Captain America themed butt plug.
Absolutely.
Should have a shield on the outside of it.
That's right. And you know what? I couldn't think of a better note to end the show on than more butt stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, come for the geekery, stay for the butt stuff. You know what? Leslie, put that on a shirt.
Wow.
Put that on a shirt.
Come for the geekery, stay for the butt stuff.
Patent pending. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight on this weird, awkward Tuesday with your weird, awkward friends.
Yes.
Before we go, we want to encourage everyone, as always, to jump on over to red5network.com. Brad and I are very, very proud members of the Red 5 Network Gold Squadron. But if you go to red5network.com, you'll get information on Red Squadron, Gold Squadron, and the newly formed Blue Squadron. Network's growing. Everyone's having an awesome time. We have a first crossover episode with Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast. Part 1 is on theirs. Part 2 is on ours. The first of the Red 5 missions was a whole lot of fun to do. Please go check that one out. And then, of course, this show that you're listening to right now will eventually be on audio. Yeah. So, Brad, where can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook at The Force Losers. Twitter, I am the Intrepid Co-host.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yes. Other than that, you can find both of us. The podcast audio only is on everywhere you can find a podcast, except for Podbean. They don't like us anymore. Other than that, I'm Kevin. Where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Force_losers. If you're talking to the Force Losers on Twitter, you have the distinct displeasure of talking to me. You may also find me on the Gram, if that's a thing that young people are still saying.
Instagram?
Yeah. Apparently you're not young enough. Look at you.
Look at you. And got a baby on the way?
Yeah, you are simultaneous. Oh, I've said this before. You're simultaneously younger and older than I am. Yeah. Yep.
You'd be surprised how many gray hairs I find.
Yeah, no, they're coming in. They're coming in on me, dude. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go salt and pepper early too.
I'm 5 years younger than you, and I'm already got a head start on salt and pepper than you. Just saying.
Yeah. Don't blame me. Blame your genetics, there, pal.
I know. I hate my father.
He's a good dude. He's a good egg.
He is, and it's scary how much we are alike.
Agreed.
But no, my dad talked shit to me all the time because I always talk shit growing up about him being bald. Now he tells me it's like, you're losing hair faster than I ever did. I'm like, shut up, Dad.
That's right. Parents know how to twist the knife, man. They know how to dig in real deep. So anyway, guys, back to the Instagram. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at HeavyKevyHKT. So be forewarned, it's all training videos. I am shirtless in 98.2% of them. There's probably a small percentage of things where you can actually see my junk. So if you're into things you cannot unsee.
Are you wearing a sarong?
No, I'm not wearing a sarong. I'm wearing Ranger panties, which is like a few degrees off of a sarong. They're just a sarong that fits better. But they've got a nice like under netting for your gibbles and bits there.
Gibbles and bits.
It's quite comfortable. Yeah. So if you're into things that you can't unsee, yeah, go there. I guess I don't know. Beyond that, that's it. You've just wasted an hour of your life on a very important evening with us. Okay, Brad, what do you say we land this bird?
All right, let's land it.
All right, let's do it, man. Ready? A one-a, a two-a, a three-a. Later, bitches.